In the dimly lit corners of his grandfather's library, a young boy makes a chilling discovery. Our young explorer's eyes fall upon an ancient book, nestled between two unassuming novels. The book's title, The Book of the Dead, sends a shiver down his spine. Yet curiosity proves stronger than fear. He carefully draws the book from its resting place, dust swirling in the slanting rays of the late afternoon sun. As he delicately flips open the cover, a sense of foreboding fills the air. Undeterred, he decides to read a passage aloud. The words, strange and haunting, tumble from his lips, filling the quiet library with an eerie resonance. His voice, steady at first, begins to waver as the gravity of the words sink in. He can't shake off the feeling that something is terribly wrong, but it's too late to turn back now. The words echoed in the silent room, and then all hell broke loose. The town, once peaceful and mundane, was now in the grip of an unthinkable horror. An innocent act of curiosity had transformed the tranquil haven into a nightmare. A horde of the undead, roused from their eternal slumber, now roamed the streets. Their hunger was insatiable, their relentlessness terrifying. Townsfolk, once neighbors and friends, were now prey, their screams echoing through the once quiet night. The boy, the unwitting architect of this chaos, watched as his world was consumed by terror. Paralyzed with fear, he could only watch as the everyday faces of his town became twisted with horror. The postman, the baker, his schoolteacher, all victims of the relentless horde. His heart pounded in his chest like a war drum, each beat a stark reminder of the reality he could no longer deny. But as the screams grew louder, something stirred within him. Fear, once a paralyzing force, began to recede, replaced by a steadfast determination. He was the catalyst of this horror, and he would be its end. His mind raced, ideas swirling like a tempest. He had to act, and he had to act fast. Every moment wasted was a moment lost, a life claimed by the ravenous horde. He knew he had to act. He had to find a way to stop the horror he'd unleashed. Armed with nothing but his courage and the deadly book, the boy steps into the nightmare. It's a chilling scene, the once familiar town now a playground for the undead. The boy's heart pounds like a drum in his chest, but he swallows his fear, knowing he holds the responsibility of saving his town. He watches the zombies roam aimlessly, their hollow eyes reflecting nothing but hunger. The sight is terrifying, but he doesn't let that deter him. He needs a plan, a way to outwit these creatures. His mind races, scanning through the pages of the book, searching for a solution. The boy's every step is strategic, every move calculated. He uses his wits to outmaneuver the hordes, luring them into traps, using the very chaos they've sown against them. His resourcefulness becomes his weapon, his determination his shield. He fights not just for his own survival, but for the survival of those he loves. Each undead he faces, he sees not as a monster but as a challenge to overcome. Every encounter is a test of his courage, a step closer to his goal. His fear slowly gives way to determination. With each defeated undead, he grows more resolute. The sight of the fallen monsters fuels his resolve, turning his fear into strength. He will not let his town fall. He will not let his loved ones down. With every defeated undead, he grew more determined. He would not let his town fall. In the darkest hour, the boy found a glimmer of hope. A whisper of a chance, nestled between the time-worn pages of the dreaded tome. A passage, hidden deep within the cryptic text, promised a reversal of the curse he had unwittingly unleashed. With a tremble in his heart, but a determination in his spirit, he read the passage aloud. Each word echoed through the eerie silence, a beacon of hope against the darkness. Every syllable was a plea, a prayer for salvation, a desperate bid to undo the chaos he had caused. And then, as if answering his plea, the zombies began to disintegrate. One by one, they crumbled into nothingness. Their terrifying reign ended as swiftly as it had begun. The curse was lifting, the town returning to its peaceful, everyday normality. His bravery had saved his town, but the experience taught him a valuable lesson: to never meddle with unknown forces.